on the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Teammates Mentoring Hour, coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studio and online at theticketfm.com.
It is that time of the week. It is time for the Teammates Mentoring Hour. I am Jake Bakoven, and we have some guests we'd like to welcome in as we go through this hour and learn more about the Teammates Mentoring Program and all the things that it provides for our local community. And as I've learned from doing these before, several states around here as well. So again, I'm Jake Bakoven in for this hour. We've also have Jim Bennett. Jim is the coordinator of Lincoln Teammates. He also mentors two freshman boys, also has appeared on the show a few times. So welcome back, Jim, man. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
And we have another Jim here, so I don't know if we're just going to call you guys by your last names or if one of you guys go by Jimmy. Oh, we'll figure it out throughout the show. Jim Tuttle actually joins us as well. He's the lead pastor at Heartland Church, and Sam, who is one of his mentors, or mentees, I should say, was matched from the time they're in middle school through graduation in 2021. They've continued to be good friends now as Sam has transitioned to adult life. Sam was supposed to be here as well. I shouldn't say supposed to be here. He was trying to make it, but actually had some work come up. So he's going to have to do that tonight. But I'll be excited to kind of talk about him, his journey as he went to school here in Lincoln and now is looking to go to the University of Kansas and study sports management. So it's a kind of a cool story that we could share with you tonight as we, again, get to learn about Teammates Mentoring Hour. First, let's just kind of get the breakdown of it from one of the coordinators of Teammates here in Lincoln. I shouldn't say one of the coordinators, since you are the coordinator. Are there more than one coordinator, Jim?
There's only one coordinator.
Oh, that's you. Okay, so the coordinator, I should say.
That's good. Yep. So just talk a little bit about what Teammates
Yeah,
is.
For those that maybe haven't heard.
Yeah. So Teammates has been in our community for about 31 years now. So it's been around for a while. It was Nancy Osborne's idea. She saw something on TV, a 60 Minutes episode, really thought that we need to try something in Lincoln. We're doing something similar to what they saw on TV. And so they started with 22 young men, middle school men, and asked and got 22 football players and matched them up. Didn't know what they're doing. Slowly over time has progressed. And now in Lincoln, we have, as of right now, we have right about 1,000 matches in Lincoln. We'll serve about 1,250 matches this school year. It's a school-based mentoring program. Everybody meets at school. All activities happen at school for one class period a week. And you match between 3rd and 12th graders. And, like Jim said, he was with Sam for a long time. And I've got 2 mentees that I work with. And we hear the same things from mentors. We hear these 2 things over and over and over again. We hear best hour of my week, and the second thing we hear is I'm getting more out of it than they are. And it's just really fulfilling. I just came from work, and we have a new mentor class of about 12 people coming on board, and that will put us we've recruited 140 this school year. We've trained about 110 of that 140. We're still training the remainder. And we just are always in need. We still have hundreds of kids on a list waiting for mentors. So we're talking about it here, and we're talking about it any place else that will have us. So
yeah, that always kind of strikes me and surprises me. Not something you can't surprise you after you hear it over and over again, but the fact that there are so many kids out there still looking for a match, still looking for a mentor. And that's, again, like you said, why we do this, hopefully to spread awareness out there in the community. And if you're out there kind of thinking, maybe you've gotten close to kind of thinking about getting involved in something like this before, we would encourage you to go ahead and kind of give this hour a listen and see if it's going to be a match for you. Let's go over to Jim Tuttle over here. What kind of brought you into Teammates specifically when you first joined the organization?
Well, to get into Teammates, you need to be at some kind of reference or some kind of reference point. And so my wife is a school counselor at Lincoln High School. And one of her good friends over at Lux Middle School was a school counselor. And so she asked my wife if Jim would be interested in being a mentor. She said, I think Jim would be great. In fact, she kind of had pre-picked me for Sam, the one that they were looking for. She had something very specific in mind, which I thought was just amazing, that someone that's a school counselor that would have the much forethought to say, what would be a good match for Sam. And so I was brought in, did my training, and Sam was in the middle of his 6th grade year at Lex Middle School, and to say to say that Sam is painfully shy is a little bit probably of an understatement. He was so shy. I could not really get him to talk very much, and really for quite a while, I guess I was expecting like big results, and some kind of breakthrough. But I think what teammates has said for years and years is so true is being in just being with them and having presence with the mentee is so important. And just have that constant presence and constant encouragement that comes, no matter how they are relating, because sixth grade guys are going through all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But just to be able to watch that maturity over time was just fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it like he was kind of saying, very rewarding for the mentees and the mentors as they kind of go through the program. Let's talk about the training, because if you're out there, maybe you are a little bit wondering, is this a boot camp? This is a Marines boot camp to get you ready to be a mentor.
Yeah, it's tough qualifications here. We want to prepare people,
Mhm.
and we want people to feel prepared when they go out and meet with this young person at a school. So we do a one time. Say one time. The first to get started, a 3-hour in-service training. We have different times of the day to do it. People work and different kinds of things. So we do some, like this one tonight is in the evening, but we do some during the day as well. Do that, and then and that's after having gotten a background check. Obviously, we do that with everybody, and then we carefully match you at a school. Once you're trained, we want to make sure, like Jim said, they had somebody in mind. They knew Jim, they knew about him. They had a young person that would be a really good fit. So we have a matching tool that we use, and we really are careful to match really, really slowly, I guess, is the way to say it. But yeah, once you're matched, and then you get that training, and then you're ready to go. And then every 3 years, we do a quick 1-hour reboot, just to in case things have changed a little bit, some policies have changed. But really, we want you to feel right. Every school has a facilitator in it. Like you said, Jamie was out at Lux, and every school's got at least one, maybe even a couple. And those are people that you can count on, right? Those are people that I can go to if I have a problem or I have a question. And so those people are available. And then in my office, we've got a staff of 9 that we receive calls all the time, just helping people walk through some ideas, some things that are going on, and we have those people available as well. So you're not alone. Some people maybe feel a little bit intimidated by it, but and I think something Jim said is really important. It's that consistency.
Right.
The research tells us it's not what you do during that 50 minutes. It's not, it's not even how long you meet, whether it's 25 minutes or 50 minutes. It's about it happening consistently. And then we don't even expect perfection. The research that we've done says that we see the best outcomes if you can meet 24 times in a school year. And there's 36 weeks in a school year. So there's going to be 12 weeks where somebody's sick, somebody's got another activity, some work gets in the way. That's okay. I mean, I tell my mentees all the time, if I'm not here, it's not because I don't want to be, it's because something came up, and I'll make it up to you the next week. So, and it's fine, and it works out, and they handle it really well.
Yeah, I just wanted to say about the training. I went through the initial training and several updates, and I did not suffer any traumatic things from it. But it's very helpful. I mean, because there are some very distinct boundaries that you have to be aware of as far as meeting at the school and other things. But the training was very effective.
Right. Yep. No, and what we're hearing from people is that they want the training, they want the support early on to make sure that they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So people leave the training saying, "This was great, thank you for this," and so we make payments.
And like you said, if there's any questions from there, they can still call and get some help there. I guess one thing that I've kind of wondered over the years, because I guess just kind of run down the basic, we talked about the meeting and how often they kind of meet. What is kind of the time period that you try to meet with the students?
Yeah, it's always in school, right? So most students are there from roughly 8 to 3, and sometimes they meet over lunch, but generally you try not to take them out of core classes. So at least in high school, I know it's my first semester looks a little bit different from my second semester because their class schedules changed. and we don't want them, or a class they might be struggling in. We don't want to pull them out of those classes. So we work with that school and we set up that right class period. And then once we do that, it's usually just repetitive every week, same time. Now there's flexibility there too because things come up. And I have the scheduler at Lincoln High that I use. If something comes up, we can schedule something a different day of the week.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of flexibility built into it. And I think people also like that holidays are still breaks for everybody, and it follows a natural calendar. So I think people like that too.
I guess another question is just kind of how, like, where do people meet? Is it kind of dependent on the kid? Are there multiple teammates and mentors kind of in the same area, or how does that kind of go?
Well, for me and for Sam, most of the time we met in a library, and it was during a class period time, and it seemed like it worked that way, and during a time where the library was not heavily used, and so that's where we met almost all the time. There was a couple times there was a conference room that was kind of set aside for teammates also, but we loved to go to the library because it had all kinds of games to play and different things to do, and it usually was a really good place to visit. So that's kind of where we met.
Lots of people use the gymnasium, cafeterias. I have, we one of my mentees and I go do walk and talks. He gets basketball, dribbles it, walks, keeps him occupied, and we just talk. And we obviously you're staying on school grounds and where people can see you and everything. But lots of people shoot hoops. I went to Lincoln High today to go see my mentee, and there's a couple. Actually, one of the gentlemen who was on the show last year was out throwing the football with his mentee. So it's just good to see. Kind of fun to see.
Yeah, kind of depended on the students' interest, right?
Right. Yep, for sure.
Yeah, we played chess, we played checkers. By the way, there's nothing more humbling than being defeated by a 7th grade boy in chess about 10 times in a row,
Yeah.
So we would play chess, we'd play checkers, we'd play Uno. We would do all kinds of things. Sometimes we would play games that we would like do 10 questions with each other. It's a game that we made up. He seemed to really like the conversation, after things kind of the ice was broke. But yeah, you find all kinds of things, and like Jim said, the activity is just a tool, if you will, or vehicle that you use. It's more than, it's much more meaningful as far as just the time with them. What you do is just what you do. So yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, if you're listening and you can play Uno or Connect Four, you are
even not very
suited.
well. Even if you don't do it very well,
you're
So,
perfectly suited to be a mentor.
Yeah.
I told Sam I'd give him a little shout out because he's working tonight, but Sam was really good at a lot of games, but he was really bad at some other ones, and I won't mention what games they were, but almost all the time he would get totally wiped out. So, but anyway,
Usually kids and even adults, once you learn that you're not very good at a game, you're for some reason you're not interested.
exactly.
Like
We would always go back to chess. It seemed like.
You play the ones that you're good at.
Exactly.
So that's fair enough. Again, this is Teammates Mentoring Hour. We're just having an hour-long conversation about the good that you can do through Teammates Mentoring Program, the good that organization does here in Lincoln. And again, to kind of spread awareness about the growth of it, Jim, can you kind of get into how it's expanded well beyond Lincoln?
Yeah, no, it has. Over 190 school districts. It was always Nebraska, lots of Nebraska. Then it went into Western Iowa, and now we've got chapters in South Dakota, Wyoming, and Kansas now. So in 5 states, we're mentoring about just under 10,000 matches a year now in those.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but in Lincoln, we're 10% of that whole match. I think Lincoln's really embraced this program and embraced the idea of mentoring, and so we're really proud to be carrying the torch for it.
Yeah, it's very cool and a reason to take pride in your community. Now, I was kind of interested in this too. You said you had 2 mentees. How common is that? I mean, is that that's for a veteran in the mentoring program, correct?
Yeah. You know what happens when you're working for teammates and there's a young person who really needed somebody, and I just wanted to help him out.
Yeah.
Or not even help him out, just be that person for him. It's not super common. Some people do it. We have some folks who are retired and they have a little bit more time on their hands, or maybe somebody who is a stay-at-home person, and they they might choose to do 2.
Mm.
We did have a gentleman years ago who he was retired and he had 5.
Wow.
That's never happened since. It's not, but that, and he was a really great mentor. But no, it's not common. But yeah, I get to, and I think we sent something to you, but it's a little updated. They are juniors now, and so I'm working hard on it. We're getting close to the time we really all the payoff. We're trying to really get them graduated. So we're working with them hard.
Yeah, and those I've heard though in the past though too that the graduation rates of people in this program really, I mean, as compared to the general population, is very good.
Yeah, it is. Our graduation rate is consistently in over 90%, and I think the citywide average is around 85% roughly. But these are not. I think some people may have a misconception that these are troubled kids or that they're or behavioral kids. These kids come from all socioeconomic backgrounds, differing degrees of abilities in school. Some are doing straight A students, some are struggling a little bit. They have all different things. I think you said Sam was shy,
Yes.
and I think every kid could use a caring adult, right? And I think it's just one of those things where there's not a kid out there that couldn't benefit from it. And these teachers identify these kids, but we're 70% free and reduced lunch in teammates. So 7 out of 10 are living at or near the poverty line. And so that's a risk factor for graduation. So we have some kids with some of those risk factors, but we're still able with that caring adult to really see those outcomes. And one of those outcomes is getting to graduation because they've got somebody there to support them.
Yeah, and that's going to be a kind of a very cool moment as it kind of blossoms into that. How was that for you? As kind of you started 6th grade, right?
6th grade.
Wow, that's a lot of growth to see.
That whole journey was amazing for me to witness because, like I said, in 6th grade he was so shy, and even through middle school, he was just very small kid, and it just didn't seem to have a ton of confidence, but it just continued to improve, and not only did he start excelling socially, but academically, he just caught fire in high school, and he would love to tell me about his tests and about his grades, and so to watch him graduate was just an absolute incredible blessing for me, and obviously for him, and like today, as I was kind of checking in with Sam, he is a sophomore at Kansas University in Lawrence, and majoring in sports management. And I didn't ask him, but Sam did let me know that he has a 3.75 GPA after 2 years.
Solid, wow.
I know, and he's working 20 hours a week, and which is what he did here. And to see that and be a part of that has just been an incredible blessing and joy to be able to be a part of that.
Yeah, I bet it's a very rewarding program to be in for sure. Let's go ahead and do this. We've got a few more segments. We got to take a quick break based on the bills because some of the commercials in. But we'll be right back after these few commercials with more of the Teammates Mentoring Hour coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Ours is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4060. Built multi-values, and that shows them how we treat others. A1 Automotive, all honest answers.
John Henry's Plumbing.
When it comes to your business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that. Options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Gardner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and an opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
Big box stores are attempting to provide equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play to quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play it against sports at 48th and Vine.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, wanting to say Happy New Year and thank to all of you for your continued support. It just closed out another outstanding year. We want to start 2023 off with the bang. The new GMC and Chevrolet inventory continues to roll in, and I'll actually be picking up my 2023 GMC later this month. So with interest rates continuing to climb, Coppell is partnering with General Motors and now offering 2.9% APR on select models. So we invite you to the dealership. Check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa,
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Rashawn Jackson here from Power Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Power is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and stereo linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Power, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go big.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit OakStreetCarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, culinary rugs. We've got it all. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member services organization that can help you plan to retirement. We offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, the Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
This is the Teammates Mentoring Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the Teammates Mentoring Hour. I'm Jake Bakoven alongside Jim Bennett and Jim Tuttle as we kind of break down what Teammates Mentoring is, what it does for our community, and how you can get involved if you are so inclined. And so we will kind of continue that conversation. It's kind of funny you mentioned we've had Tom Osborne on the air as a guest here at 93.7 The Ticket before. I'm sure you get asked all the time, Jim, about how often do you see Tom Osborne, considering he had his hands quite heavily in building this Teammates Mentoring Hour. Is he still involved?
Oh yeah. He's highly involved in the foundation. We have a central office that kind of helps coordinate all the 190 chapters, and he has an office and is still working hard to keep this program alive and to increase the sustainability of the program. And so he works hard on that. I do get to get in contact with him on occasion for just different things here and there, maybe some recruiting events and things like that. And one day I was talking to my wife, and I looked down at my phone, and I said, I got to go. Tom Osborne's calling me, and I was, big shot, right?
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, coach, how's it going? And he's like, yeah, hi, Jim. And we talked for about, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds, and he goes, who am I talking to? And I said, Jim Bennett. He goes, oh, I was trying to call a different Jim. Sorry. And then I hung up.
Felt cool at first.
Maybe not so cool. I almost had a call from Tom Osborne.
I was expecting a little better story than that.
No,
that was very disappointing. Right?
It was disappointing. I had to call my wife back and say, I'm not cool at all.
That's an entertaining story, though. I still kind of like it. Even if some stories that don't have great endings, they're pretty funny as well.
That's good.
All right, let's get more into it. The Teammates Mentoring Hour here, talking through Teammates Mentoring Program. And you mentioned something during the break, Jim, that this month, or is it next month, is National Mentoring Month.
Yeah, January is National Mentoring Month, so there's a lot of promotion. You'll see it around town. Lots of mentoring programs. We're also part of a coalition of mentoring programs, and we're talking about it. We were at the governor's proclamation yesterday. We were at the Capitol, and next month there will be another proclamation made that Governor Pillen is making February, Nebraska Mentoring Month. So from here on out, we're going to be having 2 months of lots of intensive recruiting and conversations with folks.
Yeah, it's very cool. I was going to ask you before we moved on to the football discussion with Tom in there. Is the current team, the athletic department, are they involved still in mentoring?
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of people from that department. So right before COVID, we spoke to 350 people in the athletic department, and got lots of real good interest. Lots of people signing up, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And so, we need to get back in front of the athletic department. Maybe have to see if somebody in the program can talk to Trev. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. But we do have a lot of university employees, lots of LPS employees, lots of businesses that really support the program. Emeritus, Huddle, Nelnet are just 3, and there's lots more out there that really support teammates and let their folks leave during the workday, pay them for their time mentoring. And because they know what it does. You let your employees go mentor, they come back energized. You're connecting with the community. They're more productive at work. And this isn't just me saying that because I'm trying to encourage people.
Yeah.
This is research that shows us this. And so there's lots and lots across this community, that have really supported it in a lot of ways. So we thank those people. And if somebody were to have an idea that they'd like their business to be a part of that, give us a call. Go to LincolnTeammates.org, and you can find my email address, and or just contact the office, and we'll be glad to talk to you about it. And we'll come out, and time to time we can even get Coach out there and do some talking to folks. So
yeah, there you go. That might get some people interested.
There you go.
Also, you did mention something there, so I wanted to ask you about it. What were kind of the challenges of COVID? Was it less obviously meeting face to face?
We kids went home on spring break and never came back, and so we were like, we're a mentoring program. We're not doing what we're supposed to be doing here. And so we realized that we need to get people connected. So we designed a way to get all of our mentors to Zoom at first. So it was in March, and for the remainder of the school year, we worked real hard to keep people connected. Next school year, virtual, right? And but we did. When we were allowed in schools, we were the only volunteers allowed in schools. But we had lots of people not wanting to go. So we ended up doing that Zoom every week, and we did it. We'd have people Zoom every other week because we had almost 600 people Zooming. And we had 7 staff that were, including myself, that were getting people on, getting youth on, tracking down youth. I had the 12 to 1 slot, and on Thursdays I had 18 people scheduled during this hour. At different times, like 12:02 and 12:07, and so we just did that. We've scrambled real hard for a year, and now we're getting back. I mean, we only have Zoom is still a tool for us. If somebody's we have snowbirds that go away for a couple months and they can Zoom while they're away, or there's just some. It's just not. We had a gentleman who was deployed.
Oh wow!
And so he stayed connected with his. We had another. This was a really cool one. We had a student at the university who was a mentor, but got stuck in her home country of Brazil because of COVID, but was able to Zoom the whole time from Brazil and stay connected. Now she's back at the university and meeting face to face. So we have that opportunity now. We only have a dozen or 2 dozen match of the 1,000 matches that Zoom anymore consistently. And like I said, it's just a tool for us. But yeah, we lost a few mentors. That's why we're working hard to get people back. We have a shortage of male mentors right now. We have lots of young men on a wait list, and young men who maybe even have put themselves on that wait list saying, I'd like to have someone come see me at school. So we really love to have get those numbers up.
I'm always fascinated to just bring up a couple stories. It's like I'm sure every mentoring partnership has just a different, unique story, and just you bring up a few, and it's like, wow, that's got to be think of if you're the student to think how important it is from somebody from Brazil still to keep in contact with you.
Absolutely. There's lots of great stories. One story I'll tell real quick. We had a young man graduated a couple years ago, and he had this an elderly mentor, and that mentor was this young guy who was graduating high school was just really mature. But he loved it, and this older gentleman would tell him stories about growing up, and he just loved them and ate them up. And then after graduation, that elderly gentleman got cancer, and so what this mentee did as he's going to college, go over to his house and mow his lawn, take care of him a little bit, and run errands for him and things like that. So it was kind of this interesting kind of reversal, and maybe Jim, you could talk a little bit about the relationship change after graduation, but it becomes a friendship. And watching that go from the mentor mentoring the mentee, and then the mentee supporting that mentor as he's going through a hard time was really cool to see. But that's just one. I heard lots of stories. Like you can imagine.
Yeah, that's one thing I was mentioning during the break that was really unique about our relationship is when Sam graduated, we, because he graduated, we could kind of start texting each other and kind of keep in touch. And his mother passed away with COVID during that really, really difficult year. And, I was able to go to the funeral. I was able to just be a part of encouraging that family, and to really feel like you were a part of that family unit in a lot of different ways was, I think, such an encouragement, I think, to Sam and to his family, but so much more, for myself, because of, it was like this, for years, we're playing Uno and talking sports and, just kind of encouraging each other. And then as he, grows up a little bit, then you have this real life tragedy that those years of mentoring became really a blessing to be able to be a part of that relationship, and to be able to encourage Sam at that time. And I was very concerned that he would maybe even drop out of college at that time, but he didn't, kind of true to his form. So yeah, there's if you have a relationship like that for a long time, if you continue to build that relationship, invariably there's going to be life situations that will that you'll end up being a part of. And I would have never known that in sixth grade when he was in sixth grade. But yeah, you really do face some things together.
Yeah, I can imagine the loss of a parent, one of the worst things you can go through.
Yes.
I also wanted to ask you this because I know you were lead pastor at Heartland's Church. I guess when I've always thought about that job, does that mean you're on call like 24/7 pretty much? I mean, what was kind of like scheduling around? Was there difficulties that popped up with the other? Your job would pop around.
And like Jim mentioned earlier, it's not a perfect system because you get busy and some things come up, but I tried really hard to protect the the hour that was going to be designed for mentoring. And so most of the time I was able to go, but there were times whenever there were different families that were in crisis or different things that were going on that I wasn't able to go to the school. But I don't think it was any more of a burden on a schedule than probably just anyone else that's a mentor. Every one of us are busy, but yeah, there were definitely times where I wasn't able to make it. But like I said, you can schedule a time that fits pretty much throughout your schedule throughout a year, and most of the time you can make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also know you wanted to talk about some of the, you kind of talked about some of the activities that you would do with Sam, but do you want to talk about some of the other things you're able to do within the school building still?
Well, yeah, one of the things that, when you start in the 6th and 7th grade, there's not a lot of, he wasn't really involved in a lot of activities. And then I think it was 7th grade and 7th and 8th grade, he started, he was in the choir and he was in the band. And I started showing up at these concerts, and that really helped the relationship quite a bit, because you're able to, because whenever you're in a mentoring relationship, it's just you and him for the period of time, and it's just two of you. But then whenever you can see your mentee in a situation, in an environment with all of his classmates and his friends, and then once again you can meet some of his friends, that was really very helpful to Sam, and for me, being able to know how to kind of encourage him throughout his school year, because I knew what his activities were, and in that process you get to know their friends. I mean, when Sam was in high school, there for a while we met in the lunchroom, and it was basically, I was having lunch with not just Sam, but about 6 guys. And, I ended up having mentoring relationships all across the board, it seemed like. But those extracurricular activities in the building were great. One of my favorite stories was, I think it was in 7th grade and maybe 8th grade, but I was talking about how painfully shy Sam is. At school, they have this social studies event called People of Prominence, I think is what it is. And so what they do is they actually dress up like someone in history, and they talk like that they're like, they're that person. And so Sam was telling me about it, and I was going, I just cannot picture Sam being able to do that. And so I show up, and you will never guess his people of prominence, who his person was. It was Richard Nixon.
Oh, wow.
He told me that, and I said, "You have got to be kidding." I said, "Did you talk about Watergate?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, yeah." And so I watched him do this, and it was one of those things where they do it, and then they just kind of keep doing it. Different people walk by, and that was so much fun. And that was kind of the day that I saw Sam in a different light, that I was like, man, anybody can talk about Richard Nixon with a straight face, and in junior high school, that's pretty cool. And then through high school, he was involved in musicals and show choir and band. And I attended a number of those things. And like I said, when you do that, you get to know their friends, but all within the context of the building.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very cool. And I can imagine, starting from a shy kid, you could choose something that maybe won't get so many questions or looks. But Richard Nixon is it's kind of an attention drawer.
Yeah, and then people were able to ask him questions in this People of Prominence, and some people were asking these questions, and he handled it really well. So I will never forget that. So I was thinking of all the people in history that he could have chosen. So
you did mention they're kind of meeting the friends. I was kind of wondering too, is it common to meet with the parents, or is there ever any sort of communication there, I guess?
That's a great question. Yeah, I think some of those situations that you're talking about, you get that opportunity, but we really focus. Parents are given permission to be a part of the program.
Mm-hmm.
They know the name of the mentor, and but really, it's a relationship between the student and the caring adult.
Mm.
And so, if you bring a parent in, it just changes that dynamic. And we want that relationship between the young person and the adult. So really, there's very little contact unless you have those opportunities. I've been with my my two young men for just about this is our 5th school year, and I've never met either of their parents. And so, at some point I will probably, or I keep thinking I'm going to run into them, at Costco or I don't know, who knows where. But it happens. It's not that we discourage it. I wouldn't say we discourage it. We really focus on that individual relationship early on, and then if it happens, it happens. But we don't want it to be a triangle. It's a back and forth.
That's interesting because you kind of think from the kid's perspective. You kind of want your confidant, your friend, not necessarily, oh, this is my parents' friend, and they're just gonna tell me to do what my parents do.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's kind of interesting. I just like kind of the
they I think teammates do it. They do a really good job of explaining that. And so whenever you have an opportunity to meet the parents at some event, it was always just kind of a cordial introduction. But they knew who I was. They were very well aware of that. But like you said, there was never really even an opportunity for that triangle to be created. So you kind of know what the boundary is. But I did have the opportunity to meet him, but it was always just very cordial and friendly.
Yeah, very interesting stuff. Unfortunately, again, we're up against break, so we'll take a quick one, and then we'll round things out here on the Teammates Mentoring Hour. Plenty more to kind of talk about and try to encourage you if you're hanging out there and you're kind of thinking, hey, maybe this can be for me. Once again, there's a long wait list of students that are just waiting for a mentor. We'll tell you kind of how to get involved, what kind of steps you need to take. And if you're the right type of person. So we'll kind of get through that here in the next break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Teammates Mentoring Hour coming up next.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Realtor go-to option when buying a commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service, promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism. Problem gambling affects more than the gambler. It affects spouses, children, extended family members, and friends. If you are a loved one who's struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 476-2300.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Imagine your next staff meeting. Now imagine your next staff meeting with a side of ribs. Your next client presentation, or that same client presentation with brisket and baked beans. It's better, right? Let Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul take care of all of your business catering needs. Feed the staff, cater your next event, whatever you need, Mary Ellen's can help. They can even host your events in their brand new event space located right next to the restaurant. Go see for yourself. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake or online at maryellens.com. Let them fix you a plate. Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Jake Balkovin here. Let me tell you about my friends at Solarion. I've been working with them as a participant in their clinical trials for many years. They help develop new pharmaceutical products, and I get to be a part of it. All I do is check the website for possible studies that might apply to me, see if they fit into my schedule, and if I'm eligible for participation within the parameters laid out, I can make up to $500 per day in a study and feel confident in the staff and research done by Solarion. Last year, more than 800 people completed it in Lincoln, and I was one of them. What can you do? If you're curious about how to earn up to $500 per day by participating in a research study at Solarion, scheduling, check them out at help/new or call them at 866-213-2965. Once again, that's Solarion at 866-213-2965 or at helpresearch.com/new.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcome animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
This is the Teammates Mentoring Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here on the Teammates Mentoring Hour as we wrap things up for the hour this week. Big shout out to the guys for jumping in studio with me. Jim Bennett, of course, the coordinator of Lincoln Teammates, and he's been on the show before. Hopefully we'll get him on again because he's an excellent guest. Also, Jim Tuttle, the lead pastor at Heartland Church, who has had a mentor named Sam, or mentee, I should say, named Sam, who he kind of brought along from middle school all the way to through high school, and now Sam is up at Kansas University. So Rock Chalk Jayhawk, at least for Sam, here in Lincoln, Nebraska. You don't get to say it too often, but I kind of like the Kansas Jayhawks, so I'll go ahead and say it there. But let's kind of jump into it a little bit more here. As we were talking during the break about some things that we'd like to get out there about the Teammates Mentoring Program, and I'm sure a lot of people, maybe you're kind of a little bit interested, but maybe a little bit worried about who you're going to get matched with. Jim, how would you kind of calm those fears to kind of
Right. Yeah, so we match young men with adult men and young women with adult women. So we match the same sex, and then we know people work in different parts of town, live in different parts of town, maybe have an alma mater that they really like to mentor at. We let people pick those kinds of things. What an area of town you'd like to be in, an age you'd like to. I mean, some people are like, yeah, I want a third or fourth grader.
Yeah.
But other people are like, no, I don't want to be around. It's too young for me. I need middle school, high school, And we even have, we have a need for even if somebody's worried about a commitment, we have juniors who were on the list and could really use somebody to help get them to the finish line. So, I mean, you name it, we're really good at matching. And what I mean is we know that if we match really well, they stay as mentors longer, and that's better for everybody. Once our average match, maybe I said this or that, I can't remember, but just under 3 years, our average match stays together. And that's pretty good. Because it actually fits in with what research says is that 3 years is where you really can see the best outcomes. And then the longer you can stay together, obviously the goal is graduation, like Jim was able to do with Sam. But yeah, I mean, I think we've got a lot of ways we can cater this to fit what people need for their busy lives, right? And I do think that, and now I'm a little biased, right, because of what I do, but we can work with you and find something that would work. And I think and Jim can maybe speak to it better, but where there's a will, there's a way, and there's always time to do it. And then it gets to the point where you don't want to miss that hour because you're looking forward to it. You start thinking about it. And so, I don't know, Jim, if you want to mention that.
Yeah, I would say to anyone out there that I think the greatest blessing you can do, greatest blessing you can have in your life is when you start serving others. And I just think so many of us get discouraged because our lives become a little bit too myopic, too focused on ourselves. And to think of the possibility of not only impacting someone's life, a young person's life, but also changing you a little bit to commit to 1 hour to pour into a young person that desperately needs it is probably one of the best things you can do. And as Jim said, it's what'd you say, 24?
Yep, 24 times.
24 times, and there's 52 weeks. So
52 weeks in a year, 36 in a school year. Yep.
so it's not even, the bar is not like super high as far as the time, but the value of the time is so it's just immense. So I want to encourage all those out there that are maybe thinking, is this something I could do? I would encourage it highly, because the encouragement and the blessing that you'll receive will be so worth it.
Yeah. I mean, I just kind of think about like you kind of just said, the best thing you can do, help somebody's childhood, and you got to get busy with your own life, trying to work on this and that. And so, you really probably get quite a bit, coming out of it, and kind of feeling like you did something good for the day, something good for the week. Absolutely. And I also wanted to ask you too, because I've heard about this in the past. We kind of talked about Sam going off to college. There is somewhat of a program for into that level too, past high school for college for their teammates as well.
Right. So what teammates realized is we were getting these young people to graduation, and they're going off to college, and we weren't seeing the kind of success rates in college that we were hoping for. And so teammates realized that if we do some post-secondary, graduate after graduation, we do have some young people that are teammates plus teammates, and we recruit for those, and then they get matched. And we've seen the success rates just skyrocket for those young people. So sometimes matches like Sam and Jim will stay together as teammates plus, but we also have that doesn't have to be like that too. We recruit people that will do that, and they meet once a month and not weekly, and some things like that. So that's available too. Right now, I'm just going to go back to it though. We really need people to work and help these young people get to graduation as well. So I would really like to encourage that of people listening as well.
Is there an age group that in particular that's kind of has a longer wait list than others?
Well, so our average grade school has roughly 5 or 6 to 15 matches. Average middle schools are in the 40s and 50s, up to maybe 60 matches in a middle school. But high school, Lincoln High has about 110 right now, because there's fewer and fewer and fewer as they go through that. So there's some kids who have been on that wait list for a long time, years. And we just went through that wait list and looked at every kid, and we know every kid on that wait list is still anxiously awaiting a mentor. And so I just think it's I've heard Coach Osborne say this, and I really thought it was powerful when I heard it, that the most precious gift you can give in your life is your time. Like when we were born, we have a set amount of time, right? And then we're going to be gone. And we can make more money. We can work longer. If you donate money, that's great. That's super helpful for organizations and nonprofits. But that gift of time is real, and young people really respond to it because they know that you don't have to be here. You want to be here, and so it's really kind of a special thing about it.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and wrap this up as we are running out of time. As we said, as important as time is. But just one more kind of opportunity, one more kind of speech to if you guys could, just to say, just to anybody that's out there, you got them 85% of the way in here. How do we get the last of them? And how do they if they are interested, how do they sign up?
Right.
Well, I'll let the other Jim tell about where to sign up. When you were talking about the importance of time, when you think of our culture right now, there's so many distractions, and what teammates does is so different than our culture. Everything in our culture is all about our phones. It's all about not as much interaction. And so it really is like this incredibly powerful countercultural thing to sit down with a young person for an hour. And so, take some time to really consider how you can make a huge difference in someone's life, some young person that desperately needs that time.
And I'd encourage people to go to lincolnteammates.org, our website. There is a Become a Mentor tab. You can click on that, get this thing started. But it's also a place where you can go and see what's happening and what it looks like. We're also on Facebook and Instagram at Lincoln Teammates, so you can look at us there. But those are just ways to kind of get a feel for it. So at least check it out and see if it's something you'd be interested in doing. And well, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that will wrap it up for Teammates Mentoring Hour for this week. Once again, thanks to the gyms for stopping in here. And hopefully we hear from you guys again. Teammates Mentoring Hour will be back next week. So more stories to kind of get through and more ways to learn about Teammates Mentoring Hour. But again, if you were so moved to do so, please look into it a little bit more. And hopefully we've encouraged you to make a difference in one of these young kids' lives, because there is, once again, a long waiting list that would love to have you out there, the listener. So let's go ahead and wrap it up here. Thanks once again to you guys. We have more ticket weeknights coming up along the way. I believe 9 o'clock. We've got the golf girls coming in, but we'll see if Carter has what he has in store for the rest of the evening as well. Don't go anywhere. More ticket weeknights coming up next. That'll wrap it up for Teammates Mentoring Hour. We'll see you next week.
Attention all Wings fans. 89 cent wings are